We are live.
All right, what is up, beautiful people? It's Wolf Brother Mythos Cushionata from the channel Frost and Fist.
And I am your brother, Freak.
And welcome to this live chat. All right, guys, so we got a lot to talk about because, it's been a couple of weeks now. Apologize for listening last week. I did my best to get up a showcase since we weren't putting up a live chat, but we're happy to be here tonight.
It's good to be back, yeah?
Yep. We got 7 in the chat so far. We have Archer, says, welcome back. Awesome. We got Inquisitor Zane. By the way, in Super Hot VR, he's achieved his road to 80 kills in a row.
That's
one
it.
Yep, one
That's
run.
it. I got to get the game.
So he's looking for a new challenge now.
Wow.
I think he said he was thinking about 150 kills was his next benchmark. That's insane. Dave Dog says he's practicing his kung fu for tomorrow's apocalypse-based box set shop bum rush. So that's going to be like a Black Friday situation. You are going to be having to throw elbows, kicks. You're going to have to call upon all your martial skills to be able to make it out with the box.
You can't go bad with some kung fu. Can't go wrong with kung fu, man.
When a company is no longer in existence and you need a copy of those bases, blue stuff from green stuff world, and some Militup and plasticine, I need a Tyranid apocalypse box. My kingdom for a Tyranid box. So Dave's a Tyranid player.
Yeah, nobody's perfect.
You know, I kind of miss when we used to be at the shop and we used to play. And I don't know if I got my butt kicked by Tyranid several times, but you know, the variety of different armies we used to face at the shop was kind of cool.
Yeah, definitely. I saw Roxas a minute ago. I don't know if he's still on or not.
Awesome. Dave needs to hone those karate skills to get some of those 35 millimeter apocalypse movement trays. That'll be cool. I don't know if you've seen
There
those.
he is.
For the larger, armies and stuff like that, or for, especially infantry-based armies and stuff like that, to move them around in this massive apocalypse game, they've got little trays that everybody fits in, so that way you don't have to sit there and move a whole squad of 20 individual soldiers.
Indeed.
Archer says he's got a Chaos One coming his way from his local shop. Heresy. Dave says just do a leg sweep on the shop floor and watch that 35 millimeter movement tray box fly into one's hands. The Chaos One is nice. It has those new Chaos motorbike. That's pretty cool. Brian popped in for just a second, but said he had to go to the store. He'll see us soon. Dave's in Spain, and they are naughty. Some shops open just after midnight, so they can sell you your GW stuff 1 minute past. I've been to a couple of midnight releases. I think my Burning of Prospero I got at a midnight release.
Yep, sure did.
Roxas in the house, you were right. Just Running Bear just got on say that hi, and he hopes we had a great 4th. Had to go to the ER 2 days ago. Whoa, got some vein issues in my left leg. Had to do bed rest. So can only say hi and hope you all have a great night. Man, I don't know if you're listening still now or if you're going to come back and listen. But, man, Running Bear, I really hope you get feeling better, man.
Definitely.
Dave says, did you get anything strange in the parades today? Donald Duck dressed as the Emperor of Mankind. Did you watch any of the 4th parades, my man?
No, man. I've been busy.
Yeah, I didn't. I just had a very, very chill, well, kind of chillax. I did do some work from home, but yeah, most of my 4th of July was just lazing around the house. Although at the end of the night, we took the girls to the Dairy Queen here, and from the parking lot, we were able to sit on the car and watch 4 different fireworks shows.
Nice.
For free in the parking lot. No fighting for parking. No. No, having to worry about crowd control. we got to watch, and it was cool because from where we were sitting, we could watch all 4 of them, and they were kind of competing for each other's attention. So I think overall we got a better show that way.
Yeah, you definitely got a better spread, man.
Yep, and the girls enjoyed having some Dairy Queen ice cream and watching the show. So that was cool. You guys have 8 viewers before the stream has even started. You have some excited fans. Man, I'm so glad to have this awesome community here.
Yeah, they were kicking the doors down. It's like, come on, open. Doors down. It's like, come on, open. Just like that. Just like that.
I hit refresh, and apparently I refreshed my audio controls.
Not as much as you see.
Kuja says good morning.
Brother Kuja, good morning, buddy.
Oh my God says looking forward to the True Knights. Praise to Chaos. That's the thing about Alpha Legion. They never remember whose side they're on.
Right? It's okay. That's all right. No judging.
Inquisitor Satan says he lit his backyard on fire with a flashly strobe fire thing. That's how you know it was a good time. Omegon says Oreo blizzards and explosions doesn't get much better.
Amen, bro.
You reckon?
Although I'm more of the Reese's peanut butter cup.
I was about to say, if anybody in the chat is interested, that is actually one of Freak's favorite treats. If you get a blizzard with Reese's peanut butter cups. So funny story I like to tell. We were once on the phone, and he went from being happy to like jacked up, pissed off all of a sudden. And I asked him what was wrong. Apparently, he was at a Dairy Queen, and his ratio of Reese's peanut butter cup to ice cream was off. And he knows exactly how much peanut butter cup is supposed to be in that blizzard.
Yep.
And they messed up the formula, and he was so pissed.
It was powder. It was Reese's powder. I was so angry. There is no candy. It was just bits of powder. And I went back, and I'm like, is this what you're offering? Powder? Am I supposed to be happy with this? Look at the picture. That picture right there. You can see chunks of Reese's, and that's supposed to be the normal. And this is what you're giving me? Take this, dump it out, put some real candy in it, and give it back to me, because I gotta go. Piss me off.
That's why you guys come to these shows, because we talk about the things we're passionate about.
Oh, here you go. Just for you guys. Yeah, that's right. I was so freaking salty. I can't tell you how freaking angry I was, man. These morons were giving me something that had nothing in it. I'm like, I got a long road ahead of me. I had this, it was like this big, man. It was like the super industrial size strength. Like, good God, man. And you're going to give me powder? Nah. All right. I digress.
Commander Cujo, what up, brother? Says, glad we're both doing okay, and saying hi to the chat. Archie says, Dairy Queen ice cream is amazing, even a simple vanilla cone. That's what I had, my man.
No, I want one.
My lady had a blizzard. My girlies had the chocolate dipped cones, and I had a simple vanilla cone. Inquisitor Jane says he hates when that happens. It's something truly worth being passionate about.
Oh, man. It makes you want to go punch somebody's grandma. I don't know if I did.
As far as setting his backyard on fire, he said he had a box of those strobing fire things, and he was throwing one. Sprinklers came on. He jumped and it somehow ended in dry brush.
I like a little fire.
Well, at least the sprinklers were there.
Or were they?
You've got some of our friends discussing your salt.
I was a little, that was just perturbing.
Archer says it's even enough salt to run an ice cream freezer. So there's some irony in this story.
Oh, yeah.
With this much salt, you can make your own blizzard.
Right.
I don't know why that needed a Spanish accent.
I don't know. That was it Spanish? Italian?
It's something. Oh, apparently the sprinklers weren't over the section of the garden that caught
Oh
on fire.
no! Oops. Oh well.
All right, brother, you got some hobby progress for us tonight?
I do have a little bit, but I think the most important hobby progress that I have, um, and I'll just see if I can bear with me and see if I can get this done here. So I had a very eventful week, and let me see if I can make this happen. Bear with moi. Yeah, this is it. Okay, hang on here.
I'm being called out for my brush licking already.
All right, so this pretty much happened. This little girl, her name is.
Oh man, you started off with the big guns now.
Oh man, I had to, bro. I mean, that was my hobby progress. That right there, that took everything, man. I mean,
now what are we going to talk about for the rest of the show? Nothing else.
Well, you can never have too much of Addie, and that's Dad right there. Man, she was born on the 1st at 8:29 p.m. She was 8 pounds 12 ounces, gorgeous, fat little girl. I mean, huge, freaking chunker. Gorgeous little thing, man, and super excited. Look at her right now. She's got the whole, I don't know, she's got the Mr. T thing going on right there. I don't know, just but oh yeah, man, she's just absolutely adorable, man. So
Cute.
But yeah, she's aside from that, I did work on my brother's car some more.
Oh yeah, you showed off a bunch of the car pictures in group chat.
Yeah, I did. I had a lot of problems with the body paint, mainly because now the paint itself wasn't the problem. It was the gloss. I had the air too high, and so what happens is that when as soon as it hit the body, it started forming little bitty bubbles. And oh man, I can't tell you how many times I had to strip it. By the way, thank you guys. I really appreciate that. I am a really proud grandpa. I really want to hold her, but I'm kind of under the weather, so I've been kind of holding back to actually try to hold her. I love when they're that little. I have no problem when they're tiny like that. So it's kind of one of my favorite age group stuff. But I'll wait till this kind of dies down a little bit before I actually go and snuggle on her. But no, yeah, she's just beautiful, man. But anyway, so I pretty much have most of it done. Let me see. I have I already did the interior. So here it is. I don't have it, fully assembled, but you can kind of see it right there. I got the gloss already there. So far, I think that's worked out. It's worked out pretty good, and like I said, though, you can see the interior. I still have to do the. I got to do the. Come on.
Have a good night, Kuja.
Take care, Kuja. Yeah. So move this over here. So
dude, that's really coming together.
It is. It's slowly coming together. On the inside, I know you can't see it right there, but I had two ways of doing this. I could either paint the gauges, or I could put stickers, and I decided to go cross-eyed and paint them. So I did the gauges in there, so it's pretty cool. It looks really neat. I know you can't really see it too well on there, guys, but I think it looks good. So I still have to do the steering wheel, and this actually turned out pretty well too. So
yeah, whenever he does the showcase, we'll make sure you guys can see.
Yeah, we'll have good pics. But overall, I think it turned out pretty well. So I still have to do the exhaust on the side. I got to do the headlamps, the tail lamps and all that. So, and the roll cage. So, also, I painted my. Okay, so you guys know that Mithas and I are playing D&D, right? Well, my daughter Nina Chick, she plays as well, and she had one of the little miniatures, and had asked me to and asked me to go ahead and paint it for her. And I said, "Are you kidding me? Yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to do it. Leave it here, and I'll have it painted up for you." Well,
these were custom ordered for us by our DM over at Hero Forge too.
right, from Brother Atlas. Yeah, I mean, he really reached out, and man, they look amazing, and they look just like our pictures that we used.
Yep.
So it's really, really cool. So anyway, so she left it here, and maybe just a few hours later, you know, I sent her pictures like, oh, there you go, it's done. She's like, whoa, wait, what? Yeah, and let me see if I can share that. I completely forgot about that. Let's see if I can find it here. It was really cool because it looks just like the picture. The picture on her. Let me see if I can find that actual. That would be cool, so you guys kind of see what the what her image, what the little image looks like, her little thumbnail looks like, because that's what we based it off of. So we put these thumbnails on our character sheets, and to kind of represent our characters, and it just looked amazing. He says, "Can you take over for a second? I'm going to see if I can find this because this is pretty freaking awesome." What have you been doing?
There are our brothers calling me out on counting my brush licks.
That started already.
We have our brother Brian to thank from starting that last week.
Oh
the last show we did.
Gosh.
Good old Brian.
Good old Brian started some crap. Look at that. 1, 2, 3. Oh my god.
A 1, a 2, 3.
Oh well, I can't find. I'm gonna post these here real quick here. Of course, it's gonna take a freaking eternity. An eternity.
All right, so let's see. For the car, Archer says you should have saved the close-ups you sent in the group chat earlier in the week.
Oh yeah, actually, I'm just not quite ready. I'm gonna just do the whole thing. I'm gonna showcase the whole thing, and I think that'll look pretty cool. Okay, so here is. Let me see. Let me get the art set up here. Bear with me.
That reminds me, I need to mute my chats because I'm a professor now, guys.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that one looks. Maybe I shouldn't. See if we can get this here. No, these look terrible. Never mind. Never mind. They don't look that great.
Now I want to see.
No. I mean, I did such a close-up. You can see everything. All right, what the heck? Here, hold on. This looks pretty rough, bro. This is like... And the thing is, they're so tiny. But yeah, I'm just going to show it. What the heck? Hold on.
And one thing to keep in mind, and Freak and I talked about this a little bit when he was painting it, that something that is... Oh, yeah, I don't know if I ever showed the chat the Necromancer I did from Hero Forge. Yeah, I did. So just like here and with the war... What the hell? When did...
What?
I think while I was muting my chats, I accidentally dabbed Ushanti Bone all over my nice blue armor here.
Oh, no.
Professional, guys. Professional.
But anyway... So yeah, this was so small. I was trying to get the skin right, the skin tone right, and it was just
not to mention Hero Forge itself makes you amazing looking models, but the finish on it is
very grainy. Yeah.
So it is definitely hard to get a super smooth look because of the natural texture of the model.
Yeah. Honestly, I'll take the blame. I mean, I think I could have done a little. It's just, anyway. But I mean, really, the 3 foot rule, right? I mean, it was perfect because if you look at it, you hold it, it looks really cool. But I took a really close up shot and like, that's just like, seeing a zit on the gorgeous girl. I don't know. Anyway, but there you go. That's what I did. But she liked it, and it worked. And
Moral of the story. God dang it! I didn't realize you'd flip the camera back over.
oh, sorry. There's no counting.
Maybe.
Oh my goodness.
But I mean, sure, we always feel like we could have done a little better. But
Yeah.
and I did notice also when I was painting up my first Hero Forge model for Atlas's Necromancer that there is a texture to the Hero Forge models, which makes the skin hard to get super smooth.
Why is it that every time we're on a chat, Brian is always eating Mexican food? It's like tacos.
He knows how to make us hungry, bro.
Right? He says, "Alrighty, back with a chicken quesadilla and shredded beef tacos."
He's like, these two streamers are from Texas. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
That's okay. Next thing you know, somebody would be going to Dairy Queen and getting a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup Blizzard and putting it in the chat.
Yeah, but wait till they actually, get dust instead of actually candy. I want to see them rage. Like, what is this crap? Man, I could go for a Reese's Peanut.
I agree. I love Mexican food, but I also love some good Vietnamese food. Man, I could go for a great big bowl of pho right now.
I had that last night, actually. It was really good. Good stuff.
All right.
Good stuff. So what did you do this week, man?
Well, as some of our friends know, I went to A-Kon, second largest anime convention in North America, and that was a lot of fun. Now, so I mentioned before that this is usually an adult trip, and we started this off with my brother Kalo. He walked in the door and handed me a Wolf Brother shot glass. So you already knew what kind of adventure this was going to be.
Nice.
But that was pretty awesome. Oh, making broth for homemade pho. Oh, I'm super hungry now.
Dude, hey, from my understanding, it's not easy to make that broth because you got to use the right stock. I mean, you can't just, throw some bouillon cubes and say, "Hey, there you go." There's some...
You go willy-nilly.
Yeah.
So if you make some good pho broth, hook your brother up.
Yeah, for real.
Let us know we'll come through.
Be knocking at your door. "Hey, it's your Wolf Brother Mythos and Freak here. You're ready for your pho."
And so even before we left, we always take the day before and we go up to our favorite Asian market here in the Houston area, 99 Ranch. And the group and I, of course, we stock up on Asian snacks. We eat dinner there, of course, and usually there's a huge variety. Some people like to go to the Korean stone bowl and getting some fresh made ramen. Some people, some of us like to go to where they have a whole deli section with dim sum, which I got a ton of dim sum, and they have like the roast pork and the roast ducks just hanging there in the rotisserie style area. It's so good.
Where is this at?
99 Ranch Market. It's there off of I-10 and Blaylock.
Yep, I know what you're talking about.
And it is such a
You took me there. You took me there one day.
Oh, yeah.
That.
When we were doing post check.
Yeah, we actually had pho there.
Security together.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, love that place.
I gotta go back over there,
Shoot.
man.
Zane, I'm making me hungry, and I had a pancreatitis flare up today, and so I've only been able to eat just a small amount of food all day, and I am starving. I was starting to feel a little hangry before the chat, snapping at people left and right. Crazy. So yeah, I'm making myself hungry too. Nothing like the sound of the crunch of a taco. You right.
Dirtbag.
So we went to 99 Ranch. We all had dinner together. We all stocked up on. We got Japanese beers, like Sapporo and Kirin.
Yeah.
Those are some of our favorites. We got a whole bunch of stuff, and I'm actually saving some of the stuff because I remember you said you would want to do an episode where you try some of the Asian snacks from my culture, and I try some of the snacks from your culture.
Hispanic code, yeah, that'd be awesome, bro.
That'll be cool.
It just so happened it's kind of funny because when we went to go pick up for dinner, we had Chinese takeout, and right next door to the takeout place, there's a little Mexican, or I guess it's a Mexican. It's not a restaurant. It's a little store, right? And it's a little bitty place, but they have all little specialty stuff. And I actually found Honduran cream, and they have the plantains, and some other stuff that I picked up. I'm like, oh, this is really cool. Stuff that I had way back then. Oh, they're still counting, bro.
I didn't even notice that I did it that time. 6, 7, 8. There's no way I just licked my brush.
Bro, I think you did. Oh my gosh.
Zane says we're making him hungry while he's eating, so that's impressive. They've actually, in Archer's area, they've got a decent sized Asian mall there, the size of a strip market, and he gets the hookup because he set up your internet and telephone, so that's cool.
Yeah, there you go.
I am dreaming about that taco. You're not wrong. I double tapped. Dang it. I need a second person to confirm these for me. We don't need any confirmation. Apparently, my problem is worse than that. God bless you. When did I make these stray marks?
Brian says, second.
He started the tradition and he came back from the store just in time to start counting.
Right. God.
Yeah. I have not varnished this yet, so these stray marks are sticking.
Oh man.
Anyways, so yeah. So then day 0, we got there. We got to kind of check out some of the area. We all ended up ordering food together, and day 0 is kind of just really the travel day. Man, there's way too much of this blue coming off. Anyways, so after that, we kind of, like I said, we saw some of the sites. We checked out some of the local area where the convention was. But then after that, we screened. Wow, they are really getting serious. They're talking about screenshotting my brush licking. This has evolved into a thing.
They changed your name. Your moniker now is Wolf Brother Brush Licker.
Anyway, so what was cool was that, so I used to run card night in my living room when the group was a little bit smaller, a little more intimate, where we would play Magic the Gathering, Duel Monsters, that kind of stuff every Friday together. And we'd cook, we'd hang out, we'd put on music, we'd crack open a few beers and stuff like that. And so day 0, we kind of, since nothing was really up and running yet, we kind of finished that day off by ordering food together, and we all crammed together in one of their bigger hotel rooms, which was a home to suites, by the way, so it could fit a large group pretty well. And yeah, we ended up doing a card night, so playing cards, drinking beer. It was great. Just that intimate group dynamic. Brush Licker Kushionada. It is your Wolf Brother Brush Licker Kushionada from the channel Frost and Fists. Frost and Fists.
That 8 or 9? I think it's 9.
He misses his fellow Wolf Brothers. Leave him alone. It reminds him of grooming their coats.
Hey, you know what? That's a good point. A good point.
So anyways, day 1, though, I had a huge setback. So the missus and I planned a couple's cosplay, Aizawa and Miss Joke. and from a series called My Hero Academia. And there was, a photo session we planned on going to on day 2 and stuff like that. And just kind of part of what we planned on was kind of, doing the couples thing together. And this was kind of a big deal for us because we've been going together for years. In fact, we're so serious about our ACON trip is that this is typically our little anniversary treat together each year. We're going to this convention, and going with the extended fam and all that. And I felt horrible that when I woke up the next morning and started to get ready, I left my cosplay at home, 4 hours away.
I can't even do.
And so, anyways, I ended up making the decision to go ahead and drive to there and back. So a lot of my day 1 was spent driving from Dallas back to Houston, and then picking up my costume, and which I ended up forgetting quite a bit of stuff. I grabbed a bottle opener for the beers. I grabbed my vape and stuff. But yeah, making the trip, picked up some more beer, and then going back to the convention. And I did get back there in time to still have a good time, because the J-Rock concerts are in the evenings, and I got to go to some of the J-Rock concerts. In fact, I picked up 2 albums from a J-Rock band called Brian the Sun, and one J-Rock band that was like J-Rock metal, called Acme, or Acme, which is spelled like Acme from Warner Brothers.
Right. I really like you to tell me what those are. So I want to look them up, dude, and see if I can find them.
Oh yeah, definitely. In fact, I'll let you. Next time we hang too, I can bring over my albums or whatever, or give you access to them. They were pretty awesome. So, yeah, I think definitely they're doing a really good job of breaking us in the chat today.
But it's funny. Usually that's my job to try to break you, right? That's typically ever since we started this thing, 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago. I've really, really worked hard to try to stump you every time, and you've just grown so thick that it just kind of rolls right off, I'm like, oh, come on. But these guys are doing a great job.
They're doing an awesome job. And so I went to the rock concert, hung out with brother Darklight Dreamer there. That was pretty awesome. And overall, I mean, day 1 was cool. So even though I ended up having to sacrifice some of my time, it really worked out in the end. And then day two. So day one, I lost a lot of my photo opportunity doing the trip. And then day 2, I was in costume, and I had my glasses off. I had, I was just being in costume, not very photo conducive. So I ended up not taking nearly the amount of pictures that I normally do. Very few, in fact, actually. And I don't know how, but somehow it turned out to be kind of a thing across the entire group. Normally, we have hundreds upon hundreds of pictures in WhatsApp that we share with each other. But it turns out most of us didn't get that many pictures in group. So that was kind of interesting. But next year I'll try and be more cognizant to get more pictures. And then, of course, when I finally did, get out of costume on day 2 to try and take some pictures from the incredible Texas heat we had. My phone overheated and I lost all my footage. So it just was not meant to be.
Yeah, I was kind of looking forward to see some of those pics, man.
Lick the brush like the wolf you are. We can see the pain in his eyes. I want to lick my brush so bad.
Yeah, man, if you hold out, you're going to be starting talking like Chaplain EMO.
Other hobby updates is I got this guy, this little Warlock or Grave Knight is what he's called in his description from the new Reaper Bones line. And this came from a brother over at the TMP. Very cool. And I will probably in the repeat of this video, or maybe over on our Facebook page, I'll put a link to Brother Rob over at the TMP's eBay store, because he does a lot of selling of his D&D miniatures that he paints up from usually Reapers or something like that, and it helps to help fund his channel getting back on its feet. So instead of just asking for donations, he's trying to sell stuff. He's trying to make it happen.
Wow,
that's pretty cool. And I mean, to have a piece of the TMP's work. This was only a tenner, so it's pretty cool. I got that, and then when I got back, of course, so Warhammer Day happened. Brian was not in a good place last night. He could have used some words of encouragement. So one thing that I almost felt like I needed Chaplain EMO on, some of you know that I've been interested in putting together a brand new Sisters Army whenever Sisters comes out in the new sculpts. Because while I love the idea of Sisters of Battle, I am not a huge fan of their old sculpts. But I do love everything they've been working on so far. And so I really wanted to get a Sister Superior Amalia. But by the time I got back from Acon, all of the Warhammer stores in the area that I called around to were sold out. And I was like, what the heck? But then my job sent me to a lesser populated neck of the woods called Beaumont. And I was like, there's a lot less foot traffic out here. Maybe I should just try calling around while I'm here. And so at first I was like, we'll even see if this place has a hobby store. And I found one, and I called up and I said, do you sell Warhammer 40K? Yes, we do. Do you have a Sister Superior Amalia? Got one right here. What? Rolling sixes.
Wow.
So I ended up with a Sister Superior Amalia.
Very nice. Very nice. Ah, those sixes, for sure. But you're paying for them right now, aren't you? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Sometimes I wonder if my flare-ups are a result of you summoning them.
You think I don't know, man. I think those flare-ups are probably all the paint you're eating.
That's fair. Brian says, "No grease on the keyboard. Look away, people. Look at the keyboard." Will he take another lick? Can he fight the urge? Will the chat break them? Find out. Now, next time on Licks and Fists, the most wholesome and encouraging channel on all of YouTube.
These guys are out of control.
Oh my God, I agree. The new Sisters do look super sexy.
Yeah.
I'm really, really pleased with this one so far. Now, as far as the range of heads they showed before, I've mentioned before, they had most of them looked very masculine. And so I hope they do kind of keep with a feminine look. The first one that was released at the end of 7th edition, Canoness Viridian or something, was very nice and feminine. This one seems like perfect mix of Amazon-esque and feminine, so very cool. I hope they just choose not to go in the super masculine mode.
Yeah.
Quizzer Jane says he's always out of control. Just something happened to the rest of the chat. Raise your brush up and pucker. Lick that like button. By the way,
redesigning
I
our
don't
channel.
know if anyone who watches our show ever has any occasion to visit the Beaumont area, but I have to give a little shout out to this place there called Book Stand. And Book Stand, I thought it would be mostly a comic shop. And they actually have a small section for comics. But I went in there, and this place was incredible. I mean, it was the size of a massive barn, right? And there was like just wall to wall models. And hey, Archer says he knows that place.
Wow.
There was wall to wall models, and a lot of it was like classic stuff you don't see anywhere anymore. Oh, hey, Archer has some family that used to live in Beaumont.
What's crazy is I was on the phone with Mythos the whole time he was walking around the store, and every time he was like, "Oh my gosh!" I'm like, "Come on, I can't see. What? Oh, there's rows and rows and rows of this." And then you hear him, "Oh my gosh!" I'm like, "What? Yeah, there's rows and rows of this." And I think the top thing overall was how nice those folks were, man.
Yeah, they were super nice. Super nice. A nice lady by the name of Beverly was just like very cool. And then I realized that I was there a little late. And I'm like, "I'm sorry, you're probably ready to close your door." She's like, "We just try and keep y'all happy, you know. Keep looking around at anything else you want to." I'm like, "No, hey, I need to go." But yeah, they were just super cool. They had some of everything, and I mean, like they had. If you guys have ever seen those long white boxes that they store old comic books in at comic shops, right? They had some of those the lids to those long white boxes, just rows and rows of old metal Warhammer figures from the Pewter era that were just, I mean, classic, still new in box. Very cool. Then they had a whole row, like a whole wall of like D&D and and fantasy miniatures and sci-fi miniatures that weren't for any specific games. There's so many different brands. They had a whole bunch of like Tolkien models. They had a lot of old Hammer stuff. They've got a ton of like, I mean, some of it was called, and I kid you not, one brand was called Generic RPG. And it was like generic trolls, generic goblins, generic fairies. It was pretty cool. I mean, it was just like, it was almost like a tabletop museum at that point. It was amazing. So, yeah, book stand. You ever get a chance to check out the Beaumont area? That, and I don't say this lightly because I've really kind of gotten attached to some of the game stores around here, but that might be the best game store I've seen yet.
That's awesome, dude. That is just awesome. And again, I really wish, I don't, again, like you said, I don't know how much our audience actually, besides Archer, I'm glad, but Archer's way out in, I think Texarkana somewhere, or up North Dallas actually.
The Texarkana, you got it right.
Yeah. And, but yeah, I mean, whoever, if anyone just happens to hear or see this, man, go check them out. They were very, very nice folks. From what I could hear on the phone,
Oh, he's looking at pics of a book stand right now. Brian is. That's cool. Oh, also, they had a huge section of hobby stuff, too. They had at least 4 different brands of paint. They had Army Painter. They had Citadel. They had several different kinds of Vallejo. And then they had one that was called the Armory or something like that. And they mostly did primers in the colors of different Space Marines. But so, I mean, they had just a bunch of paint stuff. They had, and I counted 13 different types of shrubs to go on your bases. They had 13 different types of flocking to go on your bases or your terrain projects. I mean, they just had a bunch of stuff.
So they're everywhere. They're on Yelp. They're on TripAdvisor. Wow. Yelp is the biggest one. They've got 722 photos on there. I couldn't find their website. They apparently don't have a website, do they?
They don't sell online, unfortunately. That was our number one question.
Right.
I picked up a few paints for Freak, and he's like, "Man, they've got all kinds of stuff there." I was like, "They really do." He's like, "Ask them if they got a website. I want to buy from there."
Wow.
Then he said, "Nope, they only sell locally."
Dude, I'm seeing the pictures on Yelp. I mean, there's like 700 pictures, and like what you were saying, wall to wall of the product. Very neat and organized. Wow.
Scarnier, what is up, my man? So I wanted to get some pictures. And at first, I was kind of feeling a little shy in there.
They
And
got,
then by the time I was like, man, we want to talk about this.
dude, they got Star Frontiers. They've got the actual Star Frontier game in there, like the game modules. Oh my
Nice.
gosh, they got the Star Frontier Adventure modules.
Time to take a drive.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so yeah, dude, that was such a fun. Oh my gosh, I'm looking at it right there. Freaking awesome, bro.
Can we get a Space Wolf successor chapter with an emblem on the shoulders, having a space puppy licking a brush with a huge tongue?
We have to change our logo. But we'll have see our logo right there in the middle, and just have a brush sticking out of his mouth. I think we can make that happen.
Oh, I think that was when you saw Star Frontier there. You had a freakasm.
Oh, I did. Oh my gosh. That is just so cool. Dude, I used to love playing that game, man.
That's awesome. Yeah, that place was really, really, really cool.
Very impressive.
So
it's a warehouse.
It really is. And they have, I don't know if it's open to the public, but I saw that they had a whole mezzanine kind of floor, kind of like the upper level of a barn.
Yeah.
I really think that place is like some kind of converted barn. But they had an upper mezzanine level, but I didn't know if that was open to the public or whatever. And again, by the time I was, I warmed up enough to be like, man, can I, we want to talk about you on our stream. Can I take some pics? I realized what time it was. And I was like, okay, it's time to hightail out.
Okay, so apparently that upstairs is their gaming tables.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I also have a little side area for gaming tables.
Yeah, I mean, they're gaming tables, and it's really nice. I mean...
Oh, dude, look at that setup. Yeah.
It's super... Man.
It almost makes me wish I lived in Beaumont. Almost.
We're going to have to take a trip. We may have to take a trip.
Frost and Fist visit Beaumont. Man, Archer really has got a good memory for this place. Crazy levels of terrain and whatnot donated to the store. None. No licks happened. Oh my god. So, hobby progress. So currently, I have this Tau broadside that I don't know if you guys remember, but I was struggling to get the paint off of. Finally, did a little airbrushing with it. Got it primed up the way I wanted, and then started with a Cantor Blue.
Nice. So,
kind of how it's going to be. So this Tau broadside. I may have thinned down my bottle of Dawnstone a little too much, because that's about two coats right there trying to do the striping on the broadside.
Right.
It's kind of translucent there, so I may have thinned it down a little too much. But we'll see. And then, of course, I did a showcase. Any of you, did we order any Apocalypse stuff? So probably not right off the jump, Skarnir, because at the moment, Freak and I aren't comfortable enough to learn another system for Apocalypse.
We're still learning 8.
And at the time, I mean, really, it takes us forever to play out a normal 2,000-point game. So we figure if we jumped up to Apocalypse size,
we'll
really
never finish.
Messed up.
3 years later.
Even the video Edict was unboxing. We were in the comments talking about snorting powder and smoking some of the other materials. And yeah, I remember that Nick was puzzled for a bit. Yeah, he ain't used to us. Yeah, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. I think he's not as used to our level of.
Yeah, we're down here. Nick's way up here. So this is us here. Nick, us. So it's okay. We're good. We get it. We get each other.
Scarners says, understandably starting to get buyer's burn at the GW at this point, looking to get on the BattleTech starter Kickstarter this month. That's pretty interesting. I liked playing BattleTech before, and in fact, that was I mean, a skirmish game, but still, that may have been mine and Darklight's first tabletop game like this. And I piloted what was called a Phoenix mech, specifically because it looked like a Valkyrie from Robotech. And my strongest attack was just using my jump thrusters for death from above attacks. Yeah. So from your hold on, let me switch over so I can see that in high def. Oh, nice. Very cool.
We are gonna have to take a trip there.
Definitely.
All right, no more interruptions.
Brian says that we're in the boiler room. Nick enjoys the penthouse. I enjoy the penthouse.
It's like the Titanic, right? We're the. Hey, we're having fun though. We're not uppity. We're having some really good Celtic music. We're running around dancing, drinking a lot of whatever. Yeah. And they're like,
that's right. Inquisitor Zane says the boiler room staff knows how to party. Skarner says the Kickstarter has new clan invasion sets, looking good. All new plastic sculpts. That's true. All the BattleTech. One of the things that made me not immediately jump back into BattleTech when we first got in this hobby is that BattleTech had all pewter models, and some of it was, you know how it goes, old bent weapons and stuff, or some stuff where it's just the detail didn't quite come out super crisp. Typical pitfalls of working with mass quantities of pewter. But if they're coming out with all new plastic models,
I'd be interested. I definitely would be interested. I seriously would be interested in that.
And I know, I'm pretty confident I could get Brother Roxas to jump in on some battle.
I will do it. I will do it in a heartbeat. I think that would be so cool.
Skarner says the same thing. Not interested in the old metal models at all. Inquisitor says, "Are you guys the boilers?" No, one is a liquor. So another thing I did for my hobby this week, of course, is I put out a Primaris Intercessor showcase for my Ultras. If you guys haven't seen that, I'm really proud of how my first Ultras came out, and kind of riding the high of my enjoyment from that. I have been kind of putting together my little Primaris Lieutenant. Nice. And I thought it was important to move over to an HQ choice, something cool, looking like the LT with a, kind of a very cool pose with both gun and sword. Just because I started feeling a little of the burn, a slight bit of burnout at the end of, the squad of 5. And so I wanted to kind of break up. I didn't want to just go intercessor, infiltrators. I wanted to kind of break it up by doing squad and then a single and then a squad and then a single. So break it up like that. I think my apothecary here is an elite, so I don't think he actually counts towards my battalion, but I've been getting the urge to paint him up too lately. And sister painting up the Tau and the lieutenant. I don't think I have any more hobby progress. I think I'm finally done. I've got sidetracked so many times. Skarner played a few intro games with a friend. He's been playing from the start the past 35 years, so it's a really tactical game. That's pretty cool. What really gets me is we played a game for hours with just 4 miniatures each. So not a huge painting commitment there. That sounds pretty cool. Skirmish game, like I said, I've mentioned before, I think skirmish games are definitely going to be something that might finally make me learn new rule sets. BattleTech seems like a great one. What is it from AOS? The Underworlds, Warhammer Underworlds with the Night Vaults and stuff like that. They're skirmish games. These skirmish games that you only have to commit to like 5 models at a time. I think those are going to be the things that really kind of pique my interest aside from Warhammer. Well, when I am done with the B-2 bomber, I will finish the boys. Nice. The bomber is 27 inches wide. Huge. On that same note, and I don't want to talk about it too much, but I've got a surprise. I've potentially got a surprise coming to the channel that Brother Daz talked to me about last week. So I don't want to give away too much, but there might be something in the work that might interest you specifically, Brother Brian. Each day, brushes are abused, violated by the tongues of hobbyists. This is a real problem as shown in this video. 10 times, 10 over the course of the stream. Garnier, going back to Battletech, says, plus there are rules to scale it up. Seems like a win to me. So it starts as, it's kind of like the opposite of Warhammer. It starts as a skirmish and can be built up rather than trying to scale down a huge war game.
I know.
And now you can help. If you donate the small amount of $5.99.99 to Inquisitor Zane, help make sure that one brush finds a new and loving home.
My gosh, you're a brush abuser now? What?
I am.
What is happening?
Skirmish is much more fun. You get to convert and customize your figures to be individuals, not just a static squad. I've seen a lot of that. Shout out to Wargamer Viking lately, because he's been working on a kill team that every single model is something converted and unique. And I mean, we're talking like, you know, he's taken a sniper rifle, I want to say from the AdMech or something else, with a really massive sniper rifle, and giving it to a little grot from an orc army. You know, and just like every piece of his kill team is super, super customized. Wow. It looks great. Scarner, have you tried out the new contrast paints? Not how to go with them myself. I have tried out one of them. I've tried out the red for my Primaris intercessors. Just doing the red on the helmet, stripe down the middle for the lieutenant, and little things like the purity seal. So I've just messed around with a little bit of the red. My goal here has been trying to mix contrast into what I do rather than replacing my painting style.
And I think it looks great. I like it. I really did. I like how you really implemented it.
I appreciate that. So I'm liking what I've done so far. I did, however, take a night and assemble about 7 or 8 of these regular Mark IV Marines here. So that way I can just break out the contrast paints, use the contrast as my base coats and highlights and shade, and then use regular paints to fill in the details. Right. You know, kind of a contrast and classic combination. And I've got the Blood Angels red, Ultramarines blue, which is called something. Got the Dark Angels green. I've got the Liandon yellow or whatever it is for the Imperial Fists. So I'm kind of working slowly, I want to be able to do several different kinds of Marines, different chapters with the contrast and classic combination. Going back to the Zane's infomercial, he said, have that Sarah McLachlan song in the background like that dog commercial. That shows Mythos licking the brush. 5% of the profits will go to saving these poor, violated, horribly treated brushes.
Turning it into a business.
Archer, who's done a lot of experimenting with the contrast paint, says they're definitely a lot of fun, but there are definite learning curves. Omegon says he's still converting up his orc kill team. Get some pics posted in the group chat tomorrow. Awesome. I love, especially orcs are so good for customizing things and putting your own spin on them. Al Kirkham says he's looking forward to trying his contrast paints on some orc minis. And then Skarner says, Archer, that seems to be a lot from the way of it from a lot of reviews. Omegon says he finds that Plague Bearer flesh contrast looks better than actual orc flesh. Yeah, I mean, definitely, we don't, whatever they're labeled for, we don't have to stick to it. Is Kill Team dead? Barely find anything on the GW website. I don't know if I've seen anything come out for Kill Teams lately.
They've had some kill team stuff come out, but it just fizzles. I have not seen any battle reports. I have not seen a whole lot really going on for kill teams.
Yeah, even that. But then again, they seem to go back to old games once in a while, like that. That police force is for Necromunda, right?
Yeah.
Which I'm really surprised Necromunda is still getting support. As a counter opinion, Archer says that the plague bear flesh comes out too yellowish for orc skin, in his opinion. Inquisitor Zane likes the idea of that infomercial. Make it toss up, get some money, and piggyback off of the bigger YouTuber, all with one swift motion. Wait a minute.
Golly.
It's not. Oh, and we got brother Steve from Who Took My Dice in the chat.
Hey, Steve.
Talking about Kill Team. It's not dead, just very little to it, as it doesn't need anything special other than the rules. So
I'll show this to Brian. Brian wasn't on the chat when he was on there. So here's the body. It's got a little dust on it, but
oh yeah, showing off to a fellow scale model.
yeah. So this is so far, and I painted the instrument cluster. You know, the actual needle and the numbers. That was pretty wild. But anyway, I'll showcase that one day. Almost done with it.
Skarner says he bought into Kill Teams, just not got many games of it. Seems like just did not get much traction in his local area. Brother Atlas invited me over to learn some Kill Team with him sometime next week, but I never got back to him because we were looking at maybe trying to do a game sometime next week. So we'll see. The control panel is called a dashboard freak. And he says, Brian says he teases. It looks good. I can just see him in the car now, reading the speed off of my control panel.
The control panel seems to be quite off. Which button shall I press?
You can only do it in a Spock voice, so you got to keep doing that.
Right, monotone. Honey, which button shall I press? The control panel seems to be confusing. No? I'm going to do it in an emo voice.
It's kind of hilarious, bouncing back and forth between like serious hobby chats and then goofy Spock moments.
No.
That's us. That's us. That's the way we bounce around. But Brian says it really does look good. He's just teasing. It's a specialist. Going back to Kill Team, it is a specialist game, more as an add-on rather than an alternative. Brian says he thinks he has some pins for the top of the hood. Or no, he thinks it has some pins for the top of the hood, right?
Yes, yeah, it does have them. I still have to put them on. There's a lot that I need to do on it.
Inquisitor's name says confusing car control panels. Brian says no emo. Sexy beasts. What up, baby?
Hey.
Zane says, "Shut it, Atomic. I've had a hard week and need emo to keep me motivated." You know what? This show has been incredibly derailed. I could use a little motivation myself.
I think so too. You know what, man? I really think that we need him. I need him. I need him right here.
Brian warned you, make sure you use very little super glue on those pins. Very little.
They're tiny. The pins are tiny. He's crying already.
But Zane and Steve in the chat say they need a little emo.
That sounds kind of weird. All right, well, it's Chaplain EMO intro time.
You don't know how to feel, just count on Chaplain EMO and his joy will make you squeal. So when the world takes you down, you won't let me down, you want to scream. This is Chaplain EMO.
That just makes me so happy.
Chaplain EMO.
Right. That just...
See, just Chaplain Emo arriving makes people smiling and moist,
Moist.
and moist again. Oh no, Archer's on call this weekend. He also needs some motivation.
I'm on call too, so that's why we're
We all need motivation. I'm working from home this weekend.
Yep. Show went to crap.
Well,
Please ask him. I mean, he listens to you better than he listens to me.
Chaplain Emo, you have a crowd waiting on you, sitting here smiling and moist, ready for your motivation.
Even
what
Brian.
Word of wisdom do you have for us? Even your favorite person, Brian, is here.
Yeah.
What words of wisdom do you have for us? What good word do you have?
And someone had asked me if there was anything that could
No,
upset me.
that's not
And
it.
the response was,
Oh,
No, that was not it at all.
oh.
One moment. That was last.
In a first ever, I think somebody demotivated Chaplain Emo.
Chaplain Emo, man. Hold on. Oh, where is it? Chaplain Emo? Oh, yeah. Okay. Hold on. Jeez. There we go. All right. One more time, guys. We got this.
Chaplain Echo.
Hold on.
I understand that a fellow by the name of Brian, an atomic dog steel model freak, doesn't like me. You and everyone else.
Wow.
Well.
We called somebody out. There. That just happened.
It's all fun and games until somebody's feelings get hurt.
Right? Wow. What the heck? What? Brian says, oh crap, hold on. Change my shorts. Wow. 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 How did that happen? How did he get under Emo's skin? That just,
It got serious.
it did. Whoa. Yeah, it got weird, didn't it? It still makes me feel impressed. Oh.
Zane says his voice still makes him feel as if the Emperor has possessed him.
Oh my gosh, dude. That hurt. Old Chaplain, man. So stay tuned for the next Chaplain Emo. You never know what he's gonna say or who he's gonna call out. Jeez. Man, he's just moist.
All right. So, we have kind of
Sorry, dude.
There's a Space Marine after you, Brian. You're going to need a very good door.
Yeah. Yeah. Moist in his shorts. Oh my gosh.
Or I don't know whether fortunately or unfortunately, but that's not the first time tonight, Steve.
Oh my gosh, this is just ridiculous.
The freak has been broken several times tonight.
Oh.
The way he portrays the Emperor makes me moist.
Emo slapped. Right? Man, that's pretty bad if you get emo slapped. You may not get up.
All right. So, being that we are already reaching close to 10 o'clock, do you want to go to Art of the Week or do you want to go straight to GW News?
Yeah, whatever you want, brother. You know how we do.
Well, you know me. I love to brag on other people's work. So let's jump to
Art of the Week it is. All right, stand by. Art of the Week. Art of the Week. Okay. Let's see which Art of the Week we're going to do. If I can find it.
So every week before the show, like literally about 30 minutes to an hour before the show, Freak just gets spammed with like 100 hobby pictures.
Yep, pretty much. Yep. Like a lot. Let me see if I can find it here. I think this is by Rob Kawick. I think that's it. Yeah. That guy right there.
There's no hiding from the Emperor's will. He's gonna get you and make you moist. All right, so this I thought was really cool, and it's not like a super high level paint job, but I wanted to show it off because this is mostly using contrast, and I think, and again, I want to say this again, I have my own custom colors because I have never loved the look of the typical baby blue Fang, or not Fang, like rust gray with the yellow and the red, and it just always looked kind of cartoony to me.
It's very pastel-y. Yeah.
This, however, is an entry level, like the contrast system is an entry level system, and look how good those Space Wolves look. I don't know if it's because it's slightly more blue than gray. It's not pastel blue, but it looks good, and that shade of blue really pops with that yellow and that red.
The colors are more vibrant. I think having that
It's
dull...
vibrant without being cartoony.
Exactly, yeah.
Good night, Omegon. Good to see you, my man. The subterfuge and assassinations start early in the morning.
We'll get him.
Take care, my man.
All right, the next one. These bikes.
Oh, yeah. So this is a Wolf Lord or Wolfguard battle leader that was posted in the Warhammer 40k Space Wolves on Facebook.
That is just epic.
That is such... And whereas my usual preferred style of painting is like the last shot, more of a cartoony look, there's a sense of realism in this one.
Yes, there is.
As opposed to... I mean, sorry, not cartoony. My preferred painting style is kind of comic booky, but this one has kind of a sense of realism to it.
Yeah.
Very neutral. I mean, very real earth tones used, and the fur and textures there, and I mean, it just all looks really, really good. The leathers look natural.
It's kind of interesting. It's a contrast from actually, riding an actual wolf mount.
Right. And
but no wolf to ride. We got a bike here.
Yep, and of course, some people. Archer mentioned that Space Wolf biker seems almost like an oxymoron, and then of course, we are usually seeing them, with their wolfness, right?
Yeah.
Which is one of the main reasons I bought them. But actually, Sven's Fire Howlers were always known for things like jump pack assaults and biker assaults and stuff like that. So while it doesn't, definitely seems like he should be on a wolf, it does exist in the lore for there to be some badass bikers in the Space Wolves.
Makes sense. And this is these were painted by Adam Benez.
Adam Badass, got it.
Right. All right, see what else we got.
That's pretty cool.
There's another shot. Oh wow, love the shield.
Oh yeah, shield looks amazing.
And all right, and another shot from behind.
I love shots from behind. What?
And just look the soot. I mean,
why wouldn't you just convert up some Thunderwolves with bolters attached on the sides, right?
Okay.
Counts as. Brother Roxas is still listening. Popping in with a giggity.
All right, I saw you post this one. Now, tell me what this is.
I don't know. It looked amazing. Actually, I posted it because either Richard or Archer posted it up in our daily group chat, and I just thought it looked freaking amazing. And I actually,
good, yeah. It's 30K.
Oh, he's multitasking us and 14 with the new expansion. Oh, that's my other hobby update, by the way. I've been playing on Shadowbringers, the new expansion. So Archer says most of that model is Nathaniel Garrow, which I think, the next book you in your part of the series for the Horus Heresy, you finished the first trilogy. Next one is Flight of the Eisenstein, so you'll get to meet Nathaniel Garrow, but most of him is used in this model here.
Oh, nice.
It's pretty awesome. Okay. Some kind of badass ultramarine in that conversion there. It just looks phenomenal. And I kid you not, I thought that was a poster when they first posted it.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize it was a model, but it looks amazing. This one, again, I don't know who he's supposed to be. It's just an Imperial Fist conversion.
Yeah, he looks beat up there. At first, I thought it might have been Pollock, but I mean, the face looks amazing, man. They did a great job.
Yeah, Pollock's uses a Power Fist, though. I mean, it might be part of Pollock's, though.
Probably so. Yeah, but that's just
I think
great.
the shield is different for Pollock's, though.
Yeah, it is. But look at the grade. The armor looks amazing.
Yeah, tastefully weathered, and then of course, good shading. You know, because it's yellow up towards the top, and it gets more orangey towards the mid and brown towards the bottom.
This is someone who knows how to do faces and eyes. Golly.
Oh yeah. Mythical people who can paint eyes.
Oh, they're not human. You know that. Oh.
So I gave you some Imperial Fist porn in this group with that last guy. And then, of course, some Black Templar here.
Templars, yeah.
So the first one is I want to say that's the original Emperor's Champion on the left.
Uh-huh.
And then they've done a Primaris conversion of the Emperor's Champion on the right.
Wow. I love those swords, man.
Yeah.
They have that black onyx kind of look. Really cool.
I think, and I know you were thinking about making those in addition to your Imperial Fist one day.
Yeah.
And looking at this, man, I just cannot agree enough. It just looks fantastic.
Yeah, they look awesome. Yeah, they did a great job of that. Let's see. This is same people. All right. This one. Oh, we know who this is. Oh, this was Arnau Lazaro. Lazaro.
I don't know what this is.
It's cool.
I don't know what it goes to. I just saw it and it was like the dynamic colors just are amazing.
Yep. Looks pretty freaking great. Really good.
Inquisitor Zane were those the Primaris and original Emperor's Champion. Inquisitor Zane said it's really crazy how close those two were. Yeah, you almost can't tell them apart, except them being side by side.
Yep. Well, that's pretty much it.
This kind of reminds me of a certain. Actually, that would be giving away spoilers, but that reminds me of a certain dragon in a certain popular series. We're not going into any details. But yeah, I mean, super great model, super dynamic pose, and that the dynamic colors were just amazing, very eye-catching.
Yep.
And I think since I've started in this hobby and seeing combinations like that have really, really given me an appreciation for blue-purple combinations like that. Just they're so striking together. All right, so that is our art of the week, guys. And if you guys ever have any art you'd like us to share, just make sure you send it to us. over at frost.and.fists@gmail.com. We'd love to show off your work as well.
Or by messenger, you know, if you can look us up
Or
on
by messenger,
Facebook.
yeah, absolutely. For our Facebook page.
Yep.
All right, next on to the GW news. I know we got to kind of move along through some of the topics.
All right, let's see.
How can we look at paintwork that are boiler rooms? Can we look at paintwork that is boiler room skills?
My God.
That would make me feel better about myself.
All right. So
Well, if you want to see some boiler room skills, I can put up one of my models somewhere. That's TMP. Nope, that's fist stuff.
All right. Chapter Master Raldoron.
So I've heard his name come up several times in the Horus Heresy books I've been listening to. I can't necessarily put a specific item to him right away, but like a specific point in a story to him. But man, that model looks amazing. And it's cool to know that I've been reading about this guy and now he's getting a model.
Huh.
At first, just because of the pose, I thought it was a conversion of Sigismund.
Right.
Because I didn't see it on the community web page at first. At first, somebody linked it in the group chat. I think it was you. And at first, I was like, "Oh, that's a cool Sigismund conversion." But then, looking at it more closely, I'm like, "No, wait, that is a whole new Blood Angels model."
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, man.
Just the pose on the sword just looks epic.
Yeah. Just got through chopping something up.
Kind of reminds me of the Gotatsu pose from Rurouni Kenshin.
Oh, wow.
Very cool.
God, that's so cool looking.
That pose.
He's wiping it down.
I've told you now that I'm probably going to buy some 30K Blood Angels just to paint up some of these special models, right? Yeah, this is going to have to get added to that. He'll go right there next to my Blood Angel Paladins that will probably never be played.
That just looks awesome.
Man, every time that they release stuff like this, man, my painting queue gets huge.
Yeah, it just looks amazing. Yeah. Weapon skill of 7, second only to Sanguinius himself within the Blood Angels Legion.
Brian says he has a tip. Don't feed your dog beans. It's getting green in the room there. Quizzer Zane says that's a cool base, and he normally doesn't like bases with little ribblies on the base like that.
Yeah, that's a good point. That base looks really clean. Yep, that looks really good.
Yep, everything. I like everything about that model for sure.
All right, that's one. Let's see.
Wait, so anybody who's still playing? Oh, never mind. I was just going to read the rules on his.
Oh yeah, we can go back. Hold on. Do that. Bam.
So anybody who's still reading or playing Horus Heresy or any of the 7th edition style rules, his weapon is the Encarmine Warblade, Malay Mastercrafted. So it's got the Mastercrafted special rule. It's an AP2, so it cuts right through even Terminator armor. Shred, so you get to re-roll damage, and then Murder Strike, which I don't even remember what that does. That's pretty awesome. That is a really bad A sword.
Pretty cool. That could hurt.
All right, guys, I'm going to put you on the big screen in the living room. I need to evacuate.
God. gosh. That bad, huh? Jeez.
Apparently, next time I've got a bean burrito, I need to do a test with Marley.
No, don't do it. Don't. You're gonna clean it up. All right. The next one, The Road to Apocalypse, Simon's Space Wolves.
Yeah, so when I saw that the Warhammer community team was showcasing any Space Wolves army, and even though this is an apocalypse, still any Space Wolves army done by the Warhammer team itself, I was like, we gotta check this out.
Wow. That is pretty epic.
Wow, look at how massive that Space Wolves army is. But it's so much of it is infantry.
Yeah.
You know that most of his army is just going to get pulled off the table right away.
Yeah. A lot of cavalry.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Which is good. I appreciate
a lot
that.
Of cavalry, yeah. It's true to the, true to the chapter. Look at that. And consistent work. I like it. Yep.
And that's always a thing when you're looking at a whole mass scale army like that. Yep. Is typically what happens to us hobbyists is we get better as we go along.
Yep.
And so, especially, 2,000-3,000 points later, those army units look nothing like your early work.
Yep, that would be me. My stuff's so different.
I mean, part of that was by choice too. You did a lot of experimenting, a lot of design stuff that you were doing different stuff with. I mean, almost all of your basing is different just because you were experimenting around. So right. Some of that's done on purpose, but yeah, it is kind of a natural progression for hobbyists. Yeah. When you see an army like this that is completely unified in its look, it is definitely feels next level.
Right.
Heck, I even got a small feeling of accomplishment. Well, I mean, you know how much I learned when I did my first Loyal Night Lords commission for Shroud.
Yep.
But having all of, seeing them all together with the similar paint scheme, that felt pretty cool.
Yeah.
So this is just like a greater scale version of that.
Yeah.
Really nice army.
Yeah. Eventually, I'm just gonna break down and just take a whole, bunch of my army and just redo them, rebase them, make them all look the same.
Well, I definitely. Most people say you shouldn't do that, but considering I've been doing the same with my army, you don't have any room to talk. Zane says he has a reverse issue. He had a friend that painted up half of his stuff, then dropped the hobby, so he has to learn to paint. Half the army painted looks great, and then his half is not so good.
Oh man. Yeah, how do you fix that?
Yeah, because even
yeah, I mean, you got those opportunities where you can, get your skill up to a certain point, right?
Right.
So, I don't know. I mean, the thing is, if I were in that position, it'd be hard for me to dunk a perfectly looking model. I would continue to strive to get to that point, right, to where that looks, and then try to surpass it, maybe. But I can see the dilemma there.
Absolutely, and then on top of that, even through practice and getting his skills to being a good looking skills,
right?
I mean, your skill set's still going to be different from the previous person's skill set.
Exactly.
So it's going to be, for instance, I feel like, Freak and I both do pretty decent work, but if he paints half an army and I paint the other half of the army, just our different painting styles are going to make it look very different.
Yep. Yeah, he has strengths where I don't, and vice versa, Okay, now this one I've been kind of catching a little bit here and there on this mythos, and this is it's been really a busy week, so I never really got a chance to look into it. So this whole thing about the whole another Primaris Lieutenant, can you shed some light on it for me, please?
Sure. So if you pull up the article, some of you may have seen, and I'll link you the video later on, Freak. Some of you may have seen, or no, there's the video right there, so you can catch it up later on. But some of you may have seen Warhammer put out a video, and it's an interview of episode 723 of the world's biggest fan of Primaris lieutenants. So the way it goes is the person on this show runs a whole show about Primaris lieutenants and everything Primaris lieutenants, and they have a designer on there from the Warhammer team ready to interview about the new range of Primaris lieutenants. So it's funny because I'm sure many of you have seen the meme of the Imperial Codex Primaris lieutenants, right? Where Primaris lieutenants got their own whole codex.
Right.
Well, I love this because it seems that the Warhammer team has been able to laugh at themselves a little bit, right? And realize that they've gotten a little ridiculous. And so they did this video about a fan who's runs his own show and is really excited about all things Primaris lieutenants and is asking about a new range of Primaris lieutenants. Now, what's really interesting for anyone who hasn't seen this, though, the designer is continuously trying to talk about new Primaris units coming to 40K. So some of it is a transport or some kind of tank there, a new dreadnought, new soldiers, a new unit, and there's all this other stuff that they're hinting at while joking about themselves. And the person who's running the show about Primaris lieutenants all the time, he's like, but so every time he's like, yeah, check out this new dreadnought. It's a very nice dreadnought, but it's not a Primaris lieutenant. Okay, what happened to the Primaris lieutenant range we were promised? And he goes, we never promised a range of lieutenants. That's ridiculous. And he goes on to the next thing, like, look at this new tank. Now, this new tank that'll be coming out is a Primaris. And he goes, that's very nice. Oh, and the Warhammer designer keeps correcting him, because British. It's not a lieutenant. It is this is a new Primaris tank. And so, so they keep dropping hints at new stuff that could be coming out for the Primaris range. Very cool. Chapter Master Valric did a little zoom in, and from what it showed, it looks like in his zoom in from that commercial, they intentionally make it blurry if you zoom in. Like, it's run at a lower
The frame rate, or he just drops it.
Yeah, it drops the quality.
Yeah,
it's a little lower so that if anyone like Chapter Master Valric did zoomed in, it comes out blurry, but you can pretty clearly see the bit rate. Sure, the resolution that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
So if people like Chapter Master Valric did and zoom in, it comes out really blurry. But what it looked like, and that Chapter Master Valric pointed out, is that, and I'm getting all blah, 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 is it looks like a more streamlined dreadnought. Like, the repulsor's awesome, but it's big and bulky, right? And this looked a lot more streamlined. Maybe something combat-oriented, or, as he pointed out, maybe something that fits along with the new range of Primaris, the Shadow Spear stuff, something that would be sneaky and infiltrating,
right.
A reconnaissance-style dreadnought.
Right.
And then there's the transport issue. Now, going off that same theory, we all want to transport that we can put our Hellblasters in, our aggressors, and drop them on somebody's back line. But that may not be the intent of. If it goes with all of this scout-style stuff with Shadow Spear, then it might be a scouting vehicle that might let things like your Reavers, Infiltrators, and stuff like that drop in on someone's back line. So it's really interesting to see where they're going to go with all this.
Pretty cool.
Indeed.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. I mean, even this little text messaging or these tweets, Primaris Lieutenant. Yeah, they're really running with it, aren't they?
It was a glorious charge into the enemy front lines, but Captain overruled me. You know what? I'm going to have to I haven't used my our Twitter account in forever, but I'm gonna have to follow Primaris Lieutenant. Almost did a woot on Abaddon, but didn't manage it. That's cool.
Yep. No, there could be as many Primaris Lieutenants in the galaxy. A long way to go before all those models are out. Better get cracking.
Awesome.
Yep.
Crap, I'm losing daylight over here. Doors locked. Get my Evo spray ready. Do we have a Twitter? Yes, we have one. No one is monitoring it currently, to be honest with you. We both kind of run our Facebook account and our Instagram account, and the Twitter we kind of fell off of. I pick it up.
Fizzled a little bit, but we need to get back at it.
I've kind of bit off more than I can chew because I found that it was more difficult to keep up with multiple sources of social media than I expected.
Yeah, I mean, you're really good at hitting, all of YouTube, reaching out to the community. You go check out other sites and all that good stuff. I think I need to just stick to Twitter maybe, and then just kind of head that up. We'll have to talk offline about it, but you're right. I think we need to get that back on.
Also, emo spray, giggity. Tenant. Yeah, Archer, that seems to be the popular theory, is that it's going to be more Vanguard stuff and more Shadow Spear style stuff. No. Freak and I definitely share the duties when it comes to running the channel.
Yeah, Mythos does really good with, like I said, with the social, a lot of the social stuff. He's really good at visiting other sites. I try to do it when I can, but Mythos is very methodical when he does it. He's really good at it. We reach out to as many of those channels that put out new content, and he's really good at touching base with each one of them. My main focus primarily is this. A lot of the tech, try to get it all together, making sure that we stay relevant. We have a lot of discussions during the week, of options, possibilities, things that we can help promote our channel, things that actually will make our channel grow. Different, like same thing. We look at stats a lot, and that's one of the things we try to look into. That's what I focus on more than anything. But there's a balance, right? There's a balance that goes into that as well. I mean, one of the things is that I applaud Mythos for doing as much as he does. Having a full-time job, having his family, he's got other stuff that he does, and yet he still has time to be able to do what he does with the community. So it's a lot of work.
Thank you, my brother.
So yeah, so we'll get the Twitter going. We'll try to get that right one way or another.
He was saying how good you were at doing all those things, and for some reason I was expecting a but. Mythos is really good, but
no. One thing you guys got to know about me, I'm pretty straight up when it comes to stuff like that. No.
Mostly. I mean, he left out the but if he hasn't eaten, he'd be kind of an asshole.
But you've been going through some stuff here the last few days here, and health wise. So you're doing really well considering.
Have you seen the Spiky Bits article where they compare the release schedule for the Primaris means in their various flavors and the Stormcast Eternals? I haven't seen it. I did not. I mean, not really. I did kind of skim over where somebody put up screenshots of it one time. I kind of skimmed over it, and it does seem similar, but I mean, that is why we've always called at least on the Warhammer side or the 40K side of things, that's why we've always called Sigmarites as Sigmarines, just because they are, that is their Primaris flavor is the Stormcast Eternal in AOS.
Ethos, take over for a second, buddy.
Sure. And I gotta say, I've really, really had the itch to paint up some Stormcast Eternal. Like, just thinking of how they'd look with a Grey Knights or Knights Errant kind of head instead of the Sigmarine heads that they have. I just really think it changed the overall look. More of a Paladin or Crusader kind of look. You can see a lot of parallels. Yeah, I really, I mean, just in their design and conception, I feel like they were the same. So it only makes sense that they would treat them the same. Let's see. He's going off screen to drive Emo to your house. Run, man, run. So, have any of you guys dip your toe in both waters? Any of you guys play Age of Sigmar stuff or and 40K at the same time?
That's a tall order. I mean, you got to be really dedicated. that's a lot of rules too.
Yeah, although the way that they streamlined the AOS rules and the 40K rules with 8th edition to be similar to each other, it may not be that difficult for these two games to merge.
Yeah, that's possible. You're right. You're right. You right.
You right. But I may just be justifying because I want to paint some Stormcast Eternals
Right.
and a Marathi. You can't take them in the same army, but that's what I want to paint. And you know what Rob says? If you just want to paint it, go for it.
Yeah, you're right. What's stopping you?
So when you left Inquisitor Day and said, "Oh crap, are you going off screen to drive Emo to your house?" Run, man, run.
Right. That'd be funny if Chaplain Emo drives up in a little Prius. Beep beep. Where is he? Where is this Brian fellow? You can see Brian peeking out through the curtains.
He comes back from looking for Brian. His Prius is all messed up. Thanks to Mike and the boys. Big Mike and the boys. Next week's chat best be filled with many F's for Atomic Dog. What? Prius, the most emo of vehicles. Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so any other GW news? I know we've got one piece I really want to get to.
I think that's all I have. Did I miss anything?
There should be one about Chaos Knights.
Hold on.
And then I have a picture to go with that.
Okay, hold on. Let me see where that's. Okay, that was a picture. Okay, hold on. Let me pull that up under part of the week. There we go. All right, there we go.
All right, so of course, there has been several bits of the new Chaos Knights put out, and I really liked this picture that went up on their Facebook page. The Desecrator and the Preceptor know the difference. I think part of me likes this because I'm a big fan of the Canis Rex model, and it's freaking Laz. Was it Laz Impulsor? Yeah, Laz Impulsor. Looks pretty awesome. Plus, I guess the whole Canis motif, fits my thing. Plus, I like the design so much that my Wolf Lord, if you guys have seen it, also carries the shield there for Canis Rex as a shield. And it's cool how similar they are, even though the Chaos Knights got all new sculpts. Even if you look at their legs, I mean, they got new skeletons too. Yeah. It's not just an extra sprue built on an Imperial Knight sprue. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a redesign.
Yeah, but the redesign, look at the similarities too. The Canis Rex, the Preceptor, pilot is a noble mentor. stable, controlled las impulsor, plantigrade leg structure. Okay, that's the Preceptor. The Desecrator, piloted by a cruel taskmaster, volatile laser destructor. I want to know what's volatile about it. If anybody knows what the rules are, if it's volatile because like plasma, it can deal damage back to the original, or back to its owner. And of course, Digitigrade, look it up. So I have not looked that up. I'd like to know. And Scar, while we're on talking about this, I think this is a really cool topic. And this is something we could probably do like half a show on. Skarner says, controversial opinion, Knights ruin 40K. So this is coming from someone who owns two regular size Knights, one Atropos, and three of the Armigers, or the Helverins, I mean. Two Armigers and one or whatever.
Yeah, I have the Castigator.
The Helverin. So you have the Castigator? That's the one you got?
Yep.
Huh.
Yep. I looked it up.
But anyway, so I own a half dozen Knights. But I gotta agree. I really do. I bought them because they look cool. I don't ever think that anyone's going to let me take a whole Knight army to a game. But I feel the same way. In fact, the reason I got my first one is because it felt like when they came out in 7th edition, if you didn't bring a Knight to this, there was two kinds of people at the store. Those that brought Knights and those that didn't.
Yep.
Right? And those that brought Knights to a random pickup game decimated every single game. Although now Dresden is in my brain telling me, decimated means 10%. Okay, dominated every game, and there was no who was saying bye to?
Huh?
Oh, okay. But yeah, so yeah, there was very little answer for somebody who brought a Knight in 7th edition. And it still kind of feels that way. I mean, people can tell me, 8th edition is different. They can say that all day.
Yeah.
And sure, there's a lot of ways to there are a lot of ways to kill a Knight. But unless you are bringing a list that's dedicating firepower to killing Knights, I mean, it ain't easy. I mean, a tournament level person, sure. Your average Joe going to the shop on a Friday night, I don't feel it's the same, And you have to dedicate to taking out Knights. And so if you're just bringing a fluffy, I like this Blood Angels list, and you're not bringing a hardcore tank killing list, you're just screwed. Yeah. Now, you've got to really build a good list to do that. Does the Knight player have to do the same thing? No, they bring their Knights to play the game. And that's it. So I definitely agree, Skarner. I don't like the way that Knights have changed the direction of 40K. And it's definitely invalidated a lot of smaller units that you used to see really diversify the game.
So let me ask you this, because I'm listening to both opinions here, and I kind of tend to agree a little bit with that. But I mean, that one game we played at your house, it didn't take anything for you to pretty much wipe out my Knight.
It is easier in 8th edition to wipe out a Knight, yes.
Yeah, so things like that. I know 7th edition, they seem to be really OP. I mean, they were like the Tau of 7th edition, they were really brutal, which I think really kind of held to that majesty. But again, you see somebody with a Knight, you're like, oh, it's that guy. You're like... Well,
and, okay, so in 7th edition, it was like that with somebody who brought one Knight.
Right.
What you're not thinking about here in 8th edition, though, is that in 8th edition, what's normal is that the person doesn't just bring one Knight. They bring
armigers and all that, yeah.
Yeah, or support it with armigers. Or they take the biggest one, the Castellan, right? And then they swarm them with, 3 squads of 20 Imperial Guards, so you can't melee charge them, right? So think about if my Wolfen charging your Knight in that game we just had.
Right.
If my Wolfen had to charge past 60 soldiers to do that, there's no way you would have just lit me up, right?
Yep. Yeah, had more knights. Yeah, absolutely. Especially if you have a complement of armatures, supporting that knight. Are you kidding me? That would be a massacre.
And so answering two separate things here. Archer says, "Do you remember me talking about 20 Vanguard vets with Thunderhammers?" Absolutely. And Storm Shield saves, adding that to any unit definitely adds survivability. Now, that's still only 1 health apiece on those 20 Vanguard vets. So any of those 3-up saves you don't miss, you are definitely going to start losing damage. But I mean, it still seems like a really fun unit, especially if you put a Smash Captain or Smash Lieutenant there with it. Definitely. Atomic Dog Scale Model Freak says you play to win the game. It's that simple. I agree. And I'm willing to take what I need to take to win a game if I'm playing to win. But there's a couple things here. So my main point is that the game has changed with the addition of knights, right? And so if you're playing to win, you kind of need to either bring something that big or something to deal with things that big, right?
Right.
Something that's going to both kill the infantry and get in at your opponent's knight. But at the same time, I go back to if that's your intent is to play to win, there are plenty of times where I will drop harder hitting things out of my lists because I just want to play for both people to win, enjoy the game, right? Do I want to win? Sure, it would be cool, but sometimes, and I will intentionally pull a punch or two because I'd rather us both enjoy the game, myself and my opponent. If I'm smashing, if certain things are smashing a little too hard at my opponent and they're not enjoying the game anymore, I'll slip up and make a mistake that maybe gives up the left flank, right? And so that way it's not a completely hopeless situation so long as both people are enjoying the game. If it's something like building my list and I look at what they've brought and I'm like, man, I'm kind of being a douche over here with 12 Wolfen, maybe I might scale it down to 5.
Yeah, Brother Rob mentions doing stuff like that. He just wants to, it's. I get it. You got those that really would just want to just close the book. Done. Defeated. I'm winner. Walk away. But I'm not saying throw the game, but definitely make it fun. Make it reasonable. That's one thing that we try to do is we try to. We put ourselves in the other person's shoe. Again, it's not charity. It's just, okay, what would make it fun for the two of us? Yes, competitive, but definitely fun. There's a difference, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So, and that's one thing I've always, that's one thing I've always appreciated about you. Since the very first game you actually showed me to play, our first demo game, you didn't throw everything at me, you hooked me because it was fun. The fact that I had options, I had things that I could do, even though I had no idea what was happening. But like, oh my gosh, there's so much that you can do here. I see the potential, and you helped me to see that by allowing me to have fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
To enjoy the game.
The most important part to me is that everybody goes home and enjoys the game.
Exactly. Now, and I'm not saying one is better than the other, but for me personally, that I enjoy. I enjoy that more than extreme competition. Which other guys, that's a rush. That's the adrenaline. That's the dopamine push. I get it. But like I said, to each his own.
So you may have remembered that our buddies Sarge and Sean. Cali were experiencing an earthquake yesterday, or maybe it was earlier today.
That was
Quizzer Zane said he hopped off the stream for a little bit and hopped back on because they just had another one there, and he just wanted to see if anyone else there in Cali felt it. So apparently Quizzer Zane's in Cali with Sarge and
those, are they aftershocks, Inquisitor Zane, or are they brand new? It was a 6.6 or 6.7 that hit earlier this morning. And it was really bad. Luckily, it didn't hit any major cities. It was out in the valley, so but it was definitely at Southern Cali. But man,
apparently Brian felt it there in Arizona.
Oh, the seismograph in Philadelphia picked it up.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was pretty strong.
And Zane says it was much stronger than the one this morning.
Oh
It was enough
wow.
to shake his two-story house and I lost it. Oh, and all the doors upstairs were shaking.
Oh man.
That's intense.
Be safe, man. That's crazy. Oh wow. What? Holy crap.
Wow, Brian Chandelier is moving right now.
Your house might be haunted, bro. I think that's what's happening there.
Also, he said that his dog literally just barked at the door, which freaked him out.
Emo coming. It's Chaplain EMO walking towards your door, channeling moving. Yeah, dog knows what's on the other side. He's gonna kick your door and kick you in the nuts.
Oh wow, Zane's pool is splashing over.
That is insane. Holy crap. Let me see. Guys, that is so eerie. A couple of years ago, I think it was about
Later,
3 years.
Roxas.
Good night, buddy. I think it was about 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, we were actually having tremors here in Texas, especially northern Texas, like around the Oklahoma, Texas area, and I had gotten an app to try to track those because some of them actually were felt as far as North Houston. Oh wow! Just mentioned it was a 7.1. That's way stronger than it was a 6.6 early this morning. Holy crap!
That's crazy.
Man, you guys, please be careful.
Zane says that what's shaking the chandeliers at Brian's house though wasn't the earthquake. It's a man in Terminator armor coming to kick you in the balls.
That could be true. That could very well be true. Oh man, I need to find that app because that app actually showed me the all the recent earthquakes and man. You guys got me concerned now, man. You guys got me worried for y'all. That's kind of crazy. It's
Skarner says, what weapons are best for a plague burst crawler? Actually, Freak and I, neither of us have any experience with Death Guard, but if anyone else in the chat has played any plague burst crawlers before, maybe you can drop a good word.
Are we ready for some Elcination?
We are not. But one of the things, though, is I have a main topic I was hoping to hit.
Okay, go for it, brother.
It's that last picture.
Oh, hold on. Let me see if I can find it. The last picture. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. I cannot believe I almost forgot this. Okay, hold on.
It's a big one.
It's a big one, my man. Hold on. All right.
Zane said if you could have hopped in a pool float, that would have been lit. Pool float during a earthquake. All right, guys, check this out. The return of Bran Redmaw. I am so excited. Now, the only thing is that he's coming back in Apocalypse. Now, I do hope that means that Bran Redmaw stats are coming back in 40K at some point as well. I'm sure at first it'll be Apocalypse exclusive, but they've done a really good job taking these characters from these side games like Kill Teams, Necromunda, and giving them some 40K stats. So I really want them to give them Bran Redmaw some 8th edition stats. Now, taking a look. Okay, so yeah, he's not amazing here that I can tell. But if you got to think about it, he's in a game that is mostly about the big bad toys, the knights, the titans, the Imperial war engines, that kind of stuff. So, I mean, his movement is 6, his weapon skill, ballistic skill is 2+, typical for a Wolf Lord. Attacks 1, again, that's only one attack for someone like Brand Redmaw, but that's, of course, because this is in a very upscaled game like Apocalypse that is mostly about those Titans and stuff like that. Wounds 1, leadership 7, save 5+. Now, I wonder about that, if that's a 5+ as in a D6 or one of the new D12s that they use in that game. Because that seems like a really good save if it's on a D12. The Axe of Langvast, so that is his classic weapon. I'm not sure what SAPE or SAT is, but it seems pretty cool. Jarl Fenris, so reroll hit rolls of 1 made for attacks by friendly Space Wolf units within 6 inches, pretty typical for a Wolf Lord. And of course, if when you issue an order in this unit's detachment, roll a d6. If the result is less than the number of turns, this unit becomes the Red Maw and is no longer described as previously. This unit gains the Ignore Damage 6+ ability, and you can add 1 to wound rolls for attacks made by this unit for the rest of the battle. So that seems pretty neat. Now, it seems very underpowered for what he was before, but again, considering that this is a game mostly about the big bad toys, I don't think that's bad. But it's cool to see him back in some way, shape, or form. Now, what this really has me excited for is that we're going to have a new model for him. Are we going to get those 40K rules? They made a Brand Redmaw model years ago that was on display at a Forge World event, and they never did anything with it. Of course, they said that the way that they couldn't get it to reliably print correctly or whatever, and that the making of the sprue for it or whatever didn't work out. But, I mean, either way, they ended up not making the model, and then ended up pulling him out of the game at the beginning of 8th edition. They later, after a lot of complaints, including complaints from this guy, they later went back and said, yeah, you can use these generic traits for Brand Redmaw. And we're like, why would you have a named character with generic stats? Good night, Steve. Have a good hitting the bed. But yeah, so I am really, really, really excited to see Brand Redmaw come back, and I want him to come back to 8th edition in his full werewolf glory. Okay, in 7th edition, man, when I could have him turn into a werewolf that was a literal monstrous creature, God, that was so cool. And it didn't happen very often. In fact, I more took him for fun than anything else, because he only ended up turning into a werewolf once in every 5 games or so. But when he did, it was the most epic feeling ever. Okay, that was such a rush. And I mean, even if it's unlikely, just to have that feeling again, that this is a true and epic proper werewolf in this, I'd love to have that feeling again. I think so. Like I said, they've been real good about taking everything for.
My question was, I had my mic off, my mic off in the stream here. My question was, do you feel that there might be hope for Brand Redmaw coming out this season or this year?
This year?
Yeah, perhaps.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. They've been really good at following up on stuff that they announced in other games and doing something with it. So I think there might be. I think this might be the year of Redmaw. What do you guys in the chat think? That I'm a little too eager, a little too gullible on this one, or do you think I'm going to get my true and proper Brand Redmaw? Let us know down in the chat.
I mean, this is great because you get the first sign of it, So that means there's going to be a model, right?
Absolutely. Not only did he have tacos, Brian just remembered he has a Butterfinger Blizzard in the freezer right now.
Oh, I hate him.
Stranger Things, I really liked the first season. I need to go watch the next 2 seasons. Archer says that he's thinking next year at the earliest.
Okay.
So Skarner disagrees. He says that they included rules for a bunch of stuff that's no longer made, such as a fighter bomber, big guns. Okay, so apparently orcs have gotten the same treatment and had some of their favorite toys taken from them too, and they're being included in Apocalypse.
That's really sad.
I know. I it's just my queue of things to watch is so big. You think that's bad? Oh, I'm interested. I'm interested to see where this goes. But even though it doesn't make sense, I'm still probably going to keep holding out hope that I get to see my Red Ball.
I agree with you.
Without having to jump to Apocalypse.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think you're the only one.
Imagine that they took away Space Wolf Lord in Terminator armor out of the Codex. Oh, you guys don't have bosses in Mega Knob armor anymore? Man. Mega Armored War Boss. That sucks.
That's a real hosing right there.
Man, because I'm kind of working on a little project right now, and I thought a Mega Armored War Boss would be really awesomely represented by one of the AOS huge war bosses, with the one with the big skull on the shoulder. Man, that kind of sucks. That was kind of iconic looking, especially with the idea that as orcs fight longer, the bigger orcs get. So seeing them in that Mega Knob armor just used to be such an iconic look. Index only, which some folk won't let you use in store. Well, I do a lot of things that are index only, so I might still do that. Hey, Freak Alicius.
Hello.
I just had a question for you, and it is gone.
That happens when you get old.
I was just thinking about this project here. I'm going to come back to you. Skarner, I need some tips, man.
Just a tip.
Are detachments that are like great big squads of orc bikers? I have a friend named Lars that used to play that, and they used to be pretty awesome. Are they still good? And the orc choppas, not the choppers, whatever the little helicopter bike thing was. Are they still good? Because those models have always interested me. The bikers are decent. Okay, I had a friend who played a mostly, large orc biker army. What about the little helicopter guys? Well, look at this way. The Greenskins have mad respect. Copters, that's right. Copters. Cool. I always like the look of copters. If he runs Evil Sun Speed Freaks, they will be super fast. Bonus for Evil Suns. Evil Suns, of course, that sounds like the red armored ones, maybe? Red goes faster. Red goes faster. Canned advance and no negatives to shooting. Oh, that's cool. So, yeah, Lars's army style might be a cool thing to see.
I miss playing Lars, man. I miss seeing Lars.
We need to set up a game with him.
Yeah, we do. We really do.
Although we seem to keep missing him every time that he mentions going to the store. Of course, we're usually in the live stream or something like that.
Yeah.
And then usually on the weekends that we have an invite. That's usually like the weekend of like a scout thing going on in his community.
Yeah, he's very, very involved. Scouts.
Which is cool. All right. So that is all of our major news. I do not have a 100% true fact for the week this week, but if you guys want to drop some down in the comments below for next week, that might be a big help. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I literally got home less.
We have one tonight.
Huh?
We have one for tonight.
We do?
Yeah. Not the greatest, but we definitely have one.
Oh, I didn't know that you made one. Awesome.
Elstonation never dies, brother. It's just like polka never dies. Polka never dies.
I was just going to go ahead and say, guys, I got home like only 30 minutes before the show tonight. So.
Polka will never die.
Hey, you are awesome. And so is Butters.
Right. All right.
Shame upon you. Shame upon your family. Shame upon your town.
Here we go. Okay, and again, this is the wrong fact number. It is fact number 9. So, 100% true Elstonation fun fact. Elstonation was the only soul in the 40K universe who actually made Chaplain EMO smile. There you go. 100% true Elstonation fun facts.
Brian says, great, now he's got polka in his mind. That's awesome, dude. Way to come through.
I mean, the only person that actually smiled for anyone, because, I mean, Chaplain EMO doesn't smile for anyone. Chaplain EMO doesn't even know how to smile.
Greek has redeemed you for now.
For now.
I've been waiting because the release of Brand Red Mall stats came out just before Akon, and I knew I wasn't going to be coming to the live show because Akon. So I've had that waiting to talk about that for over a week now.
I still really, I'm hoping, because there's a lot of people that really want Brand Red Mall to return.
This guy. This guy. I just want my Brand Red Mall back. I want that big beastie werewolf running around Freak's backline. I mean, nothing.
Oh my gosh.
The first time he turned into a werewolf, I was playing against Freak, and it was the last turn of the game. And I was like, man, it looks like he's just not going to wolf out. And I rolled, and it wasn't high enough. And I was like, yep, not going to happen this game. And then I looked around, and I realized that I had enough units in combat on the table to reduce it down. Because it's the 7th edition rules were the number of the turn plus however many units in line of sight Brand Red Maw could see in combat. It's like seeing more Space Wolves in combat kind of amped up his Curse of the Wolfen. And so it was like turn 5. So I only needed like 5 or less, or 5 or more, something like that. And I think I rolled a 3, but then I had like 2 or 3 units in combat, so it made my requirement down to a 3. And I was like, yes, he wolfs out. And he only wrecked 1 rhino, but it was still a cool feeling for him to just transform into a werewolf on the table and destroy stuff.
You would think Mythos himself turned into a werewolf. I mean, I really, really was expecting him to just jump up on a table and rip his shirt right off and roar.
Yep, I howled so hard that we were playing on the tables downstairs at the store, and people from the tables upstairs came down to check on me.
Yep. That was when it was still fun at that store.
That was pretty good. Good times.
Yeah.
I had that pop up one of our escalation leagues. The last game of one of our escalation leagues come up, and that was one of the first days you came up and took pictures of the models and stuff like that. Actually, I think it was your first time coming to the store. Yeah. And anyways, it was one of those 3 years ago today kind of pictures,
Yeah.
and on Facebook, and I was just like, man, I really miss this.
Yeah.
When all the fam used to gather at the store.
Yep. I
Also,
loved it, man.
I remembered how at the time, every time we would play in a tournament or escalation league or something like that,
Mhm.
I would always take the pictures with the monster label
Yeah.
facing. Because I would just jokingly be like, product placement.
Right. Yeah. But I loved it because it was really intimate. You know, it was a time that and that's what really drew me to the game, man. I'll never forget it. The fact that we had guys like Roxas and Lars and Ethan and Will and all these guys, you know, everybody, your brother, you know. Whoa, where'd that come from? Who just dinged?
That was Brother Rob.
Oh, Brother Rob, holy cow. Oh, wow. Man, he is killing it. Gosh, he's doing that bass
man.
for his night.
For his night.
Oh my gosh.
He did a good job getting it suspended in midair.
Jeez.
Let's ask him if we can show this.
Yeah, let's see here. Can we share it on live stream? Let's see.
Wow, that really gave me a nerd boner there.
Oh, sweet. He says yes. Awesome. All right. Stand by, guys. Let me see if we can. It's looping, so let me see if I can.
Okay, while you're setting that up,
Yep.
Brian says he's ready. He just lined up all of his orc boys by the front door, placed his knobs in front of the back door. His death dread is and looted
Very much.
are by the sliding door. He's ready now.
I did.
And then when we said, I wonder if Rob will let us share this, he said, "It's just share it. It's Rob. He's a cool dude. He is a cool dude.
He is a really cool dude.
And
All
we
right.
got the yes. So
All right, there it is, guys. Oh my gosh.
that is so amazing. Man, he did a great job getting that whole body to float.
Yes, he did. Golly.
He says he wants us to make sure that we mention that, oh, hey, there he is, that this is just a work in progress. He's waiting for the sand. The miniatures paintbrush is in the house.
Brother Rob. Brother, you are a master. Gosh.
He really is.
Oh man, look at the skulls he was able to put in there, dude. I mean, he's just beast mode, dude. 100%.
I was watching his paint in chat where he painted up that base with the skulls and whatnot. And he said there's a little side story there of a skull collector on Fenris who collects skulls and goes and places them on these rocks.
Chaplain EMO?
Yes.
Oh man.
And actually, I love the colors on that Dead Thousand Suns too.
Yeah.
It's not that baby blue. It's definitely a very, very cool transitions there.
Very royal. Very,
It's royal, but then also elevated.
Yes. Golly, dude, he just got jacked up. Oh man. Holy cow, that is just
So, as protection from Chaplain EMO, Skarner offered Brian, "Do you need my orc fleet to provide cover fire?" Killaruza's inbound. That's awesome.
That's awesome, man.
And then somehow Chaplain EMO is just going to be like, the Jason walk, through the house. Like, you have no idea how he got inside. You're pretty sure how you outran him, but somehow he's still right behind him.
Yep. He's standing right behind you, just breathing heavy.
Oh, man. Rob, we got to have a talk about tabletop standing. It's like painting a Mona Lisa. Yeah, it's tabletop standing.
Yeah, no, it's like painting a Mona Lisa and calling it watercolors. Really, bro? Really?
By the way, Rob, I did receive my Grave Digger Knight. I was showing this off in the chat earlier today. Be a pretty cool villain in an upcoming D&D campaign. Very cool work. Also, I don't know if you saw this earlier, Freak, but Rob painted up all the individual flames at the bottom of this cape. It's
Oh
pretty
my
cool.
gosh. Yeah, man. Rob's got some mad skills, bro.
He does. He does. And this was his speed painting.
Scary story. Their house was.
Oh, so I was describing of how Chaplain Emo would get it right. He said, "Dude, stop! Haven't you heard that scary story about the doll with 3 fingers and having to run the house while everyone is asleep?" See, now I'm really interested and terrified to read that story. Oh my God! Rob says he painted that Night Titan in 3 steps with contrast paints, just like that tapestry contrast paint meme. Have you seen that, Freak?
No, man, I have not.
There's a meme going around where somebody has they've done a full tapestry painting on the butt of some horse, right? And it is like full tapestry. Like this person has used different colors so that way you can see different threads in the blanket of the tapestry, right? And I mean, it is a gorgeous, gorgeous, very complex tapestry. And he says, "Yeah, I did this all in one thick coat using the new contrast paints." So, anyways, that was kind of Rob did kind of the same thing as that meme there. Elstonation Archer says Elstonation can do it all with contrast paints. Also, Brother Rob says Chaplain Emo is the man.
See, that's why Chaplain Emo is not going to visit Rob's house. He's going to go visit Brian's.
He's gonna end me, man. That's funny. That's funny. No, brother, is there anything like I really waited weeks to get the brand Red Moss stuff off my chest, and I'm really super stoked. And like I said, even though it seems unlikely, I definitely am still going to hold on to the hope that brand Red Moss comes back. What about you, though, my brother? Is there anything that you want to talk about before we close it out for the night?
No, man. We just I had a very very full week. I think I'm really for a game.
Yeah.
More so. I'm ready to get back together with the group somehow and
Yeah.
and get a hangout, a game hangout like we had, and if we can make that happen, that would be like that would just make my year. So I mean that's something that I really want to do really bad.
Having the whole family in one location, all gaming together.
Yeah, most definitely, man. Having a couple of tables together, just have chatted up. Yeah. So I really want to do that. But now, man, I think this week I'm going to finish up this car. My brother's birthday is on the 9th, so I gotta wrap it up.
You're getting close.
Yeah, it's tight. It's very tight. I don't have a whole lot left. I've got the wheels. I got everything. Got the interior done. I just have to do the roll cage, the lights, the lenses and all that stuff, and the decals. And
I didn't realize that y'all's birthdays were so close.
Yeah, we're well,
less than a month, huh?
Yep, pretty much. Yep, mine's on the 18th. His is on the 9th. Yeah, and of course now Addie's is on the 1st. My oldest daughter is on the 2nd. It's like, yeah, we're not gonna get a break.
All right, so that brings us. We're about 5 minutes from close. I should host a gaming event. How is that Cobra? Let's see. Oh, the Cobra, your car. Oh yeah, he didn't see it.
Here's the. So it's gonna be hard to see here, but here is the here's the body or the I'm sorry, the motor and frame. Let's see if we can get it to look a little there. So I pretty much have everything assembled and looking like an engine, looking like chassis, radiator, and here is the body. I still have a little work to do, but it's hard to see it here, but I did paint the instrument cluster on the dashboard. It's kind of hard to see there, but it's there. Yep. So yeah, it's just getting there. freaking Brian.
That red is an interesting story. He apparently had to strip that several times to get that, but he was having some airbrush troubles.
Well, it was just really bad. So, but yeah, no, I like the car. I like how it turned out. I mean,
yeah, it's looking great, dude.
Yep. I'll probably hit it one more time with a little bit of gloss, but I think it turned out nice. Yeah, I really like how the engine turned out. You know,
that looks great, dude.
I made it a little dirty. You know, I kind of made it look like it was unused. So I gave it a little grit to it. Yeah, I'm pretty happy how it turned out.
Awesome. Well, we want to thank all of you guys for joining us in the chat tonight. Brother Rob from the TMP, Atomic Dog Scale Model Freak Brian. Of course, Brother Roxas been hanging out all night. Skarnir hanging out and unleashing an orc horde on Brian's place to help protect from Chaplain EMO. Brother Archer, of course. Inquisitor Zane, of course. We had a lot of zaniness today. Al Kirkham in the chat for a good bit of the night. Oh man, I think I forgot to read his comment. Brother Atlas dropped in for just a short amount of time.
I didn't see it, man.
He said, only on for a bit, but it's good to hear you guys again on this week. So definitely good to see Brother Atlas. Of course, Who Took My Dice? Steve was with us. So we had a pretty awesome chat tonight. Really enjoyed this hangout. Man, we all went off the rails at some point. Scarter says, take it easy, it gets. Brian says he needs to orcify a model. Man, he took some kind of truck. I want to say it was a ice cream van or something. And he orcified it up last year or the year before, and it looked amazing. Like, I was like, that looks like very toyish. I don't know if that's going to be a great 40K model. But when he was done, it was so orcified. It was awesome. Brother Brian talking smack to Chaplain EMO.
Chaplain EMO, he's pretty pissed at him right now. Yeah, Brian doesn't like to be bullied.
That's hilarious. Thank you guys all so much for joining us. If you guys are watching back through on the archives, thank you for watching as well. You know, drop us some comments down below. Feel free to be part of any of these conversations. And of course, if you like this episode, then grab up an axe and smash that like button in the name of the Emperor. And of course, if you guys are not yet subscribed to the channel, then Fricalicioso and I would love to have you as part of the pack here on the Frost and Fist. Till next time, guys.
Stay frosty.
Good night, fam.